Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Solitos tuo, sulcarum, ungularum, delectatque contremescit me. Intra, intra, intra.
Hey Elmers, it's 13th Elm. We're back. It's season 3? Season 3. It's Rob. It's Michael. It's Bill. Say hi, guys.
Oh, I can talk now.
Yeah, you can talk now.
What's up? It's Bill.
Hey, it's Michael.
What's up, Michael?
Oh, not much. What's going on, Billy?
Just ate some good food. About to do some good talk.
Can I come?
Yep.
Thanks.
You guys are expressly invited
By who?
by me and yourselves on our journey of horror and self-adventure and friendship and cum
Oh, and
Wow.
vampires.
and vampires.
Cummy vampires.
The best kind.
Well, I'm glad to take the trip with the two fucking degenerates I love spending most of my time with. Beats a solo trip.
You are correct.
Who?
This movie is John Carpenter's Vampires, 1998, rated R, 148 minutes. First impressions. I mean, I know we kind of gonna go into this. We're gonna get into it, but if you could say one word, maybe what would you say?
Before we get too far, it's not
One
148
word?
minutes. It's an hour and 48 minutes.
That is absolutely correct. It's an hour and 48 minutes.
I was like, holy shit! Did I watch a 2.5 hour movie and not even know?
I didn't even notice you said
it's
that.
near 2 hours. Yeah, good catch. But answer the question.
If I could say one thing about this movie,
One word?
One thing. You pick.
Vampires.
That is so true.
Too long.
I'm gonna have a few hot takes tonight, and we
I'm
might as well
excited.
start right away. What I'm gonna say in one word to describe John Carpenter's Vampires: redemption.
For what?
For John Carpenter, this is John Carpenter's second best movie after The Thing.
You like it that much?
It's
Well, you
just like
dislike his
kind of
other
my
stuff that
flavor.
much?
It's like
Wow.
really fun and funny and gory and just corny. It's like I'm not a big so bad it's good, and this isn't like
So you-
Terror Vision or something, but it's like it's so much jumbled bullshit that was really cool. Just you can't pull it off in an hour and 40 minutes. It would have been a better comic or a HBO series. Too many questions were asked and almost nothing was answered. And then Daniel Baldwin and James Woods, two of the worst performances I've ever fucking seen in film. James Woods won a fucking Saturn Award for Best Actor in this.
Crazy.
And Gene Siskel gave this movie 4 stars and said that he would put James Woods on his end of year list for
4 out of 5.
4 out of whatever they
Four
do.
out of
Not 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
So
I
this
guess.
is, to you, this is better than The Thing and the
No.
original Halloween.
No, his second best movie. The Thing is the GOAT. Thing is my
GOAT.
favorite
So,
ever.
so it's better than Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yes.
right now,
That's
if you
crazy.
would ask me, would I rather watch Halloween or Vampires?
It's vampires.
I might go Vampires 9 out of 10
I got him.
times.
He's turned.
It might be Vampires 9 out of 10 times.
Nuts.
I love Halloween and Halloween 2, not John Carpenter, but Halloween 2 is fucking great.
Yeah.
And okay, so is this better than The Fog? Absolutely. Is this
yes.
better than Ghosts of
Barely.
Mars?
What? You like The Fog almost as much as this?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This was fucking fun. There was gore. There were severed heads.
I mean,
there
it
were
was pretty
blood
fun.
fountains. There was dead priests, a lot of dead priests.
Dead priests.
There
I
was
did like the dead priests.
decapitations.
Of
There's
priests.
so many montages. Why were there so many montages?
the music in this film.
Insane.
Okay, so while this was John Carpenter's maybe I'm not gonna say his best because it's bad, and Halloween's a masterpiece. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't think I'm a fool, but I have a preference, and I might be foolish in my preference. I do like this a lot. While this might be his second
third.
favorite movie for me, it's absolutely his worst soundtrack. What in the fuck
It
is
doesn't
up with this
make any
soundtrack?
sense.
It is insane. It's not even like necessarily poorly composed music or anything like that. It's just like, why is this music happening on this scene? It's insane.
It was pretty crazy.
Oh, pretty clunky.
I found out that I don't really like James Woods from this movie.
Oh, he's fucking awful.
I feel like I didn't really. This is like the most James Woods I've ever seen. I pretty much only know him from
Casino.
Family Guy.
I mean, he I guess the other one that comes to mind for me is Hades in the Hercules Disney animated movie.
Does he play Hades?
Yeah, he voices Hades in that.
I've probably only seen Hercules like once in theaters and maybe like a couple times in
But-
my childhood. Never really watched it again, but I did like it.
Beyond not liking him, right? He's like not handsome or charismatic or like a bad boy. He's just like a douche,
Yeah, he's not very good in this.
and he's not a good
yeah, he's
actor
kind
in
of a
this.
piece of shit.
He just like beats people up, and I don't know. He's just an asshole.
Okay, Halloween is so much better, right? Don't get me wrong, and the
Yes.
music is great, but this is like, if you want to get just stinky butt and laugh at how bad James Wood is, and like some of the lines in this shit were so good. What's our favorite?
Oh.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna fuck it up. We don't stop him, but become unstoppable, or
Something like that.
something like that, or
Oh, he's unstoppable unless we stop him. Something like that.
That's so good. And it's like, okay, so what I think about this movie is it's like one of the 90s are so weird for horror because CGI and special effects changed and the horror became popular, fucking Scream, all that shit, right? But I think that when you have that like 80s camp formula with like the new technologies, it doesn't always mesh up because like part of the charm for like the 80s camp or like the trauma or like Return of the Living Dead and shit like that is how silly it looks. And like it can look silly and still have good practical effects, you know what I mean? Like Return of the Living Dead has great practical effects, but also looks ridiculous.
This had good prac effects too.
This did have pretty good effects. I actually really enjoyed that they didn't skimp on much of the gore.
And there was even more that had to get cut. I
sure.
read
Yeah.
there was like more graphic priest head explosions. And
There's
shit,
like
which-
at least 4 dead priests in this movie.
and a lot of
yeah, I
just-
want to see what they cut out because that decapitation was pretty good.
There was a lot of them, and like the heads looked. I mean, it's like a few seconds in frame, but like they looked like the actors. Like, who was it that was playing Bambi, the curly-haired guy
Yeah.
who dies? Like
The chubby guy?
Yeah, chubby
The guy who's like in.
It's been a lot. I think it was
Like-
Dark
Sons of
Knight.
Anarchy. He has 3. It's
Oh,
his name is 3 names. His name is
Ian Michael Black.
He's in Fanboys. Is he
Sean
also
Michael
the boy
Scott.
in Fanboys?
No, fuck. I actually wanted to talk about him because I was upset that he died so early because I
Like-
actually do really like Mark Boone Jr.
Mark Boone
I
Jr.
also kind of want to gush about
I do
this,
like him.
his kill. He gets
His death is good.
fisted through the center mass.
And then just like fingernails in and up.
Yeah, and
Split in half.
Valak
Split
has
in.
like some interesting kill. You'd think it'd be a lot of like throat ripping and stuff, which there is, but yeah, wow.
I do like the
some good
aggressiveness of
kills.
the vampires in here.
The
They're
first-
not like all the vampires you get.
The first scene is fucking
The first
badass.
20 minutes is crazy. It's the hunting and then the hotel scene.
Yes, dude. This shit is fucking tight.
There's like
honestly.
a ton of
It starts pretty
prostitutes
strong.
in that.
It's a hooker party.
Okay, we can start at the beginning, but let's not, and let's just talk about the hotel room where there
it's only like
is,
15 minutes in.
like whatever a Dukes of Hazzard style sheriff deputy who's like,
There's a
I've
cop
been
there.
buying out liquor stores and renting whores for 3 weeks. When are these guys gonna leave?
She was good.
It was wild.
And they're not private about their occupation. They're bragging to the hookers. They're like, we kill vampires for a living.
Yes, and these are huge hotel rooms.
Oh, I think it's these
Huge hotel rooms.
huge hookers.
They had like 40 people in there. mostly the 8
Well, it was like a
hunters,
motel. I think it was maybe like several rooms.
and like opened it
Because
up.
it was all outdoor. They just opened that shit up.
But yeah, everyone's just coming to hang out at the motel. So,
Party.
Party.
Party until fucking
Valak.
Vecnal shows up.
Vecnal.
Becknell.
But no, it starts intensely. It's got some good twangy music background. You're in the
I was getting
sunrise
pumped
in
on
the desert.
the music
Yeah,
initially.
Yeah.
the
It
beginning
takes a
song
weird
is
turn.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the main theme is good.
Theme.
And I love
Is that like Western feel?
this is a vampire western. Better than the other one we watched, for sure.
Near Dark?
Near
Yeah.
Dark. Yeah.
I do love
This is the second best vampire movie we've watched on 13th Elm.
What's number one?
28 Days a Night.
Yeah, 30 Days a Night. I was prepared to say it correctly too. Before I even mentioned that this was the second best, I was going to say
talking about. But I do really like the whole shoot them with those hooking arrows that's attached
That's
to the
badass.
truck and then crank them. They're
Yeah,
like, we
wedge
got
them out into daylight.
We got a fish on the line and pull them outside, and so they burst in the flames.
There
I
was
did
some
enjoy
really
that.
cool,
So many
innovative
immolations.
kills. Oh, so much.
my
How
gosh,
many
they
road
should.
flares do you think they went through?
Oh,
600.
100 to 600? Yeah.
dude. So this movie had
We got a fish on the line. Pull it out, Montoya.
pretty badass kills and pretty badass just lore, but some of the weapons were so ridiculous looking.
so
medieval
large.
Like
spear.
the large glaive with a
Yes.
fucking UV light
It
attached to
didn't do
it.
anything to them.
No.
And they get staked a lot. And they're still moving around. I don't get it.
But then how badass are the chainmail throat guards?
Oh, dude, I'm into
They're cool.
the merch and the wear. It's sexy. And
Go on about that. Hold on, let's go into that. Let's go into
There's
that.
mean,
very,
it's a
very
lot of,
sexy vampires.
It's chainmail and
This movie's kind
Kevlar.
of sexy.
And it's
Yeah, but-
I don't know, riot gear. This is the thing. They are Vietnam Marine veterans / bikers / SWAT team / Catholic priests. What?
Say less. That is sexy. Then you put them
but
in little
the vampires
chainmails
aren't
and
really sexy.
The vampires aren't that sexy. They're
Even the main one who has pretty big Brandon Lee the Crow vibes.
yeah.
yeah,
Just
but
how
also
he looks
JP from
and
Grandma's
dressed.
Boy.
Okay, yeah. I was wondering
wasn't
where
gonna
does he
say
look
that,
like.
but I
but
wasn't
who
gonna
does he
bring
look
that
like?
up, but I thought that I was like, it looks like the Crow and the
Adios,
audio
third
turned out this
nuggets.
guy had a fucking baby.
And he's supposed to be what? Czech or Polish? What is he? What
I don't know, but he's
I want him to
600
have,
years
like,
old.
a-
Talk?
He does a couple times. He calls James Woods out. He's like, Jack Crow.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's funny that
He
his
knows
name
my
was Crow.
Yeah.
How does he know my name?
How does he know my name? And then there was a Italian Sean Connery who's like, don't worry about it. You
Yeah,
got to get your
dude.
team back together.
And the obvious
Plant.
Baldwin.
Oh, the obvious Baldwin. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not super rapey and misogynistic at all.
Dude,
Or a murderer.
I'm not speaking about Daniel Baldwin. I want that to be clear because this is going to be fucked up. But the character he plays, Tony
It's
Montoya,
Re-
has heavy, serial rapist energy. His eyes, his girl. That character should have been a serial child molester in a fucking Lifetime movie. I didn't like
Oh,
how he
yeah.
looked. I didn't like how he sucked his teeth. I
How
didn't
he
like how he talked.
He was.
It was fucking creepy. And I
Creepy.
honestly don't know much about Daniel Baldwin's career. I don't know if that's a vibe that he's given off a lot. I hope not.
Okay.
Daniel Baldwin, if you're listening, your
You're a
brothers
fucking
are
creep.
more talented than you. Even Steven.
Have you
Even
guys
Steven's more
seen
talented than
Dust
you.
Till Dawn?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, this movie.
You haven't seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
It's
No.
so good.
Fuck, that's
Okay,
fun.
so this movie reminds me a lot of it, not just because it's fucking Western vampires, because the duo are so creep motherfuckers and kidnap people. Daniel Baldwin is basically Tarantino's character, where he's literally a pedophile rapist creeper.
It's crazy. He is a piece of shit to the hooker for so long.
name is
It's
Katrina.
hitting her, fucking
Slugs
ties her
her,
down naked,
is
doesn't
gonna kill
tell
her,
her
snap
what's
her
going
neck.
on, and then 20 minutes later he's in love with her and will
baby,
slug
baby,
if you
baby.
talk bad to her.
He's
It
trying
was
to.
really confusing.
She's having a vision, and he's like, honey this and baby that. And it's what the fuck?
yeah.
I mean, that's abuse, though, right?
Yeah, and then
Yes.
and then he'll
That's how
like
that
punch her
works.
and be like, "You fucking whore."
Yeah,
I love
bit me.
you.
I love you.
Yeah, it was wild.
Maybe that, like, I mean, his character wasn't great, obviously, as we just covered. So, like, maybe some of that was seeping into it. But, like, I'm not even playing when I say, like, looking into his eyes,
Ooh.
I was like, this fool
Predator.
fucking, yes.
Yes, not in the sexy way.
That's a
And
bad
not even,
guy.
like, in a good, like, performance type of way.
In like a real way.
Yeah. Like, I was watching a rapist act poorly.
Yes. Licensed to be himself on screen for money.
You are listening to 13th Elm.
Anyway, let's talk about James Woods.
Fuck.
What
He
is
was
He
not
was so bad in this movie.
good.
what was his
But it's
just
fun.
homophobia and like weird high school bullying and
It's the 90s, dude. Not to just paint in broad strokes and
Yeah.
like give people a pass, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying it's like, what do you fucking expect? It's horror subgenre. It's the 90s. He's an old fucking white guy in a movie written and directed by an old white guy. Like,
Yeah.
fuck. I wish it was different, but yeah, there was some.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit too. I think he drops an F-bomb in there.
oh, he definitely does.
Also,
Yeah.
like slaps around Christina or whatever a bunch.
Oh yeah,
And
he
he's
like
"You
emasculates
fucking pole
the fucking
smoker.
padre and stuff too, and he's like, yeah,
Calls
everything's.
the father Padre.
Yeah,
they all
all
do,
the time.
which I thought was pretty funny.
He's like, yeah, when I was beating you up, they give you wood, get a little mahogany off of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's weird.
There's like a joke with it. It was like a running joke. They do it like I think 2 or 3
That's
times.
how the movie ends.
Yeah, it is how the movie ends. Yeah. Wow. Just not likable and not a good actor.
So this is Blade. It
What?
is the same story as Blade.
I don't think that's true.
I mean,
It
most
is-
vampire stories
It is
are something
about
like that.
a vampire hunter that has to stop a vampire from gaining the power of being able to be in the light while also taking care of a woman that was bit at the beginning.
I mean, that's like most vampire tropes right there. Like just in general, like you're taking care of somebody
still.
before they turn. That's all vampire movies. And then trying to like save them from becoming super vampires.
Like
Yeah.
stop the ancients
Yeah,
or
It's
or
the
whatever.
same
blot out the
exact
sun,
plot, and they
or
were
kill the sun.
30
years
days
apart.
of night.
Yeah, or 30 Days a Night, or Daywalkers, or I mean, like
What was the name of the motel? The Sun God?
the
Sun God, yeah.
which was solid like that. I also like the like call back to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Like he like picks up the fucking lamp and like throws it through the window.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
good.
But yeah, man, some crazy kills. Like actually some pretty decent gore. The first 20 minutes make this movie. Everything else is like okay, and it's a little long, and they could cut more stuff out of it. But apparently they did. So
It's fun. No.
Yeah.
it is fun.
If this was just like okay, so like I feel like some of the comedy falls flat because of the delivery. James Wood is so fucking bad, but
He's
also
wooden.
it's just like that era of comedy or that era of horror. It just didn't present like okay. So would it be better as a comic book? Sure. Would it be better as a mini series or something? Yes, but also just as a movie, I think it would have been better, even if it was still Carpenter and everything, if it would have came out 10 years earlier. And like it was just like a little bit more self-aware and a little bit cheesier. Maybe it didn't have James Wood in it, but like the gore was there, the lore was there, the technology and like storyline was fun enough vehicle. Like, you know how many fucking wild ass movies in the 80s that we look at like they're it's just classic and it's just like fun. Like I feel like this was closer to that than maybe it appeared in the lens of 1995 or whatever it came out in.
No, there's like a lot of boxes being checked. I see. I mean, I like this movie. I see why you like it because it's like the same reasons. But you also see what it could have been, and like you see like this great backdrop, like the western, like you've got like the mountains and like all the old missions that are the oldest places in like North America that are Western European, which is the tie back to like old world vampires and all that shit. You gotta have the Catholic Church involved with it, of course.
Love that.
Like-
He's like a slayer
All the
for
dumb
the
shit.
Catholic
Yes.
Church.
Yeah.
Like all that shit. Like, and also you've got the classic, oh, my parents were killed, which you find out he killed his parents or he killed his dad for turning into
They
a
were bitten.
vampire. And he gets raised by the church, so he's like an orphan and all this. And just everything about it. You get like bikers, you get motels, you get highway chases, you get like the weird SWAT team,
And this is why I say I like it so much, because it's like, I feel like this was the vampire movie that I fucking want. Like, if you're gonna
Dude.
give me vampires, like, do this. Like, where there's some loose ends and some questionable performances, and sure, not a titty one in the movie either. But like, actually, that's not
There's
true. There's
so
like in the
many
beginning.
titties.
In the beginning, there's lots
There's
of
like 20
yeah,
titties
at the hooker party.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay,
There's
so I'm just
boobies.
saying, like, there's room for improvement, sure, but it's like this movie. We've watched a lot of vampire movies together, and we've watched a good amount of them for the pod, and it's just like so many of them fall flat. Like Near Dark was just like kind of boring. And as much as like I
sucked.
wanted to like it, it was like, what the fuck is this story? And like, I get that it's cool or whatever. And like, I prefer this to Blade. I prefer this to Fright Night. I prefer this to Van Helsing. What else have we watched off pod? I prefer it to. The only things that really like come within striking distance for this as far as vampires is like 30 Days a Night, Vampire's Kiss, which is a completely different thing. That shit is so
crazy.
fucking
Oh, I wish we had
funny.
Nick Cage instead of James Woods.
Okay.
Oh, this would have been a fucking banger.
Imagine if instead of instead of Daniel Baldwin, it was Bruce Campbell.
Oh my god.
That was Carpenter's first pick for Montoya.
That would have been so much better.
He would have been funny and not like creepy and like predatory.
Yes, and like some of those one-liners wouldn't
Would
have
have
just been so
zinged.
like wooden. They would have landed.
They would have landed, yeah.
'Cause he's a funny
Yeah.
guy and he's cute.
He's cute.
This is really like on the short list. Like this is up
It's
there
great.
for me with like
This is really good.
Let the Right One In is another like vampire movie I like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
There's a handful of them, but this is definitely firmly in the rotation.
You get like decent lore that's pretty clear. Like you get like I don't know. You get like you can know what you're getting right away because the opening is like this team going and like clearing out a nest. You get all the jargon. You get like they have call signs and all that shit, and then they go and party.
I love that they call them goons too.
Yeah, goons
yeah,
and
that's
masters
fun.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I also like that the master buries himself every night in the dirt.
This shit is fucking nuts. Like when they all come out of the
That's
ground,
pretty cool.
like, all the masters or the ancient vampires wake up out of the
Yeah.
ground. This shit is insane. See, and this is like one of the things that I really appreciate about this movie, because it's far from perfect, honestly. But it's like, God, all of its bad parts are like really endearing to me, which is typically that's not my favorite type of movie. There is like schlocky B movies, bad for the sake of being bad, killer clowns from outer space type of shit that I love, but
Great movie.
I don't think that this movie was going for that, but they kind of nailed it. And then everything else was just like, this is not the last time I'm going to watch this movie. I
No.
can't believe it's the first time I watch this movie. I'm going to own this movie. This shit was one of your best picks. It was fun as fuck. It was nuts.
I didn't hate it, but I can't imagine a scenario where I watch it again.
What?
On purpose.
I mean,
Oh,
I think it's like
I can't
pretty
wait.
good, actually.
I can't wait.
I'm so happy. Yay.
I'm glad you guys can watch it together.
Yeah.
It's good. It's crazy.
It's better than Twilight.
Is it? I haven't seen Twilight. We'll watch that for the pod. That's a horror movie, right?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it falls in. It's vampire. It's horror adjacent. Maybe we could do like all 4 parts during the October.
During the October.
What do we call the thing that we do? The Halloween
Hell.
Blitz? Hell.
Halloween Blitz.
I don't like that. No.
What do you like?
I don't know.
Well, we're doing it, and it's coming up.
Monthoween.
Month of Ween.
Month
31,
of Ween?
31 Days of Horror.
31 Days of Horror, I think is what we called it before.
That makes sense.
Well, it's coming up, ladies and gents. So go ahead and
Put it
leave
on
your
your
comments down
calendar.
in the comment section below. If you have any requests, movies that you want us to do for the Blitz episode, we
Ignore
might
them.
do that. If this video gets let's say,
More views than Blade.
if this video gets more views than Blade,
I mean, it's the same.
I
plot.
will drink my own blood
I'll
on
drink
the
some
pod.
Of your, I'll drink some of your blood.
On the pod. In
Pint?
a movie.
Not
whole
a whole pint.
No, like collect. I will donate a pint if all 3 of us
And I'll
drink.
take
Then
a
that's
shot.
What is that? 6 ounces, give or take. Exactly. Not quite.
Each?
No. 4 ounces. 5
It'd
ounces.
be 5 and change.
5.3 ounces.
16.
No, but if all 3 of us had it,
Yeah,
this
it'd
is
be
good radio.
5.3333.
I'm not drinking 5 ounces of your blood.
What if I water it down?
With
I
what?
will if you
Cum.
water it down
Yeah.
with cum.
That's gonna be a 35.5 ounce fucking beverage.
Call it a bloody sailor. 'Cause all the semen and the blood.
Back to the movie.
Should we sum the movie up briefly?
I think you should. Yeah, you've probably seen it most recently.
I have actually seen it a few times very recently. Yeah, so James Woods and Daniel Baldwin are old salts of a vampire hunting team that is wiped out by the master vampire that they miss on their most recent nest clearing. And they're basically running around with a prostitute that was bitten to use her as bait / a psychic link to Valak to see where he is and what he's doing in New Mexico. Where are they?
Yeah, that was a wild
Somewhere down
thing.
there.
Also, too.
I forgot about the psychic link.
Oh, how could you? How could you?
There's so
How could you?
much.
How could you?
I
There's
forgot.
so much to get lost in.
I'm not done yet. So they have her right.
Excuse me.
This whole time she is transforming and she bites Daniel Baldwin, trying to get out and kill herself one night from a hotel room, and he falls back and cuts his arm, and she sucks on him, and she's
Hot.
and he bandages it up and keeps it under wraps from James Woods.
Literally.
This whole time, James
Jack
Woods
Crow.
is talking to Italian Sean Connery, Cardinal something or other, and is basically told to go back to Monterey and recoup, and this is your new Padre Gutierrez, and he's the classic nerdy bookworm who's never been in the field, and he wears glasses, he has long hair, and he's kind of effeminate and cute. And
He is kind of cute.
he just kind of gets honestly actually beat the fuck up and bullied constantly by James Woods all the time. Like his own life threatened. He'd stop a van and throw him onto the outside a shoulder in the dirt and is gonna shoot him.
It's like a 70s sitcom dad and a son-in-law. He's always clapping him on the ears and fucking twisting
beats him with a phone. Yeah. Oh. Not only that. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the movie. He admonishes James Woods for swearing, and then threatens to call the cardinal like you'd call a principal or something to report bad behavior, and then gets phone whipped basically by James Woods.
Let's talk about bad language or whatever it
Bad,
says.
yeah, bad language. You're not allowed to call. Wipe your ass unless I say so. I can't do a James Woods impression.
Just try to sound a lot less interesting.
Bored.
He's not good at
And
this
then
at
James
all.
Woods is always implying that the Padre gets off on being beat up and submissive, which is
I do
a
like
running
that.
joke.
I do like that.
There's
I like
a lot
That's kinda
of
funny,
bondage
but
in this
it's-
movie too.
There is. It's fucking hot, honestly. Can we talk about how sexy? You know what? Actually, let's save that.
You go ahead.
Let's save that.
Be bound.
How sexy
I like
was
to
it to
bind.
see?
I like to be bound.
How sexy was it to see
tools.
Montoya bind that girl up naked and definitely implied rape?
I'll tell
It was
you.
weird. It was creepy as fuck. And then he was like, "I love you, baby. I'm here to help you."
I washed you for you.
He's strangely handsome though. All the things that we said earlier.
he's
right?
a very classically attractive.
He's
human.
a thick. He's like a
He
marble
is.
man Baldwin.
He's a thick boy.
Made out of marble, or the marble man as
Marble roll.
Marlboro.
Marlboro. Marlboro.
Marlboro. Not Marlboro. Ham.
Marlboro and Juliet.
A Marlboro and
Romeo
Juliet.
and Marlboro. Anyway, what you were saying?
Begging, please don't go.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking flick, though. I had a goddamn riot watching it. I was
It's a good
laughing
time.
hard when I was watching it.
Hard.
Not only at things that I think were intended to be funny,
Things
but
that were not intended to be funny.
yeah, and most of that was James Woods and your boy fucking Daniel Baldwin. Daniel Baldwin's absolutely fucking horrible in this
He's
movie.
bad.
The shit he says, when Katrina's tied up in the Jeep and he's running away, and he's clearing out the nest or whatever. He's like, "You don't go anywhere." and then just fucking leaves. It was like, it's like he's like, I'm coming back for you.
I also like the Callahans are dead. From James Woods, where he's like getting the lowdown from Father Connery.
Yeah, he kept like scoffing at everything, like everything that was like, oh, here's the origin story lore dump. He was just like, yeah. It was like, it was comical, right? He was like, yep,
I heard a bunch of stuff when I was a kid about a Black Cross. Yeah, whatever. I heard stories.
It's like a fucking Muppet.
It's
you know what I mean?
crazy.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. I live here. You know what I mean?
Looking like he's like part of the fucking Thunderbirds in that fucking like leather jacket and
God
jeans.
damn it. So, you know what I learned about this movie when I was reading? Is that this was John Carpenter's only profitable movie in the 90s, and it was his last movie to turn a profit. It broke even domestically, and it hasn't had public figures released, but according to John Carpenter, it was a huge smash overseas, specifically in Japan, where it more than doubled its $20 million budget. But we don't know. It did officially clear its investment domestically, so either way, it is a profitable film, I guess, if that's the metric. But, yeah, like Ghost of Mars and anything after this that was flop city.
I didn't really care for the ending. I mean, obviously, you see the twist coming, right?
The ending's not good, but
bad.
the lines, like some of the dialogue there is like iconically bad. It's like so good.
So bad. But it's the idea that the Cardinal, who knows vampires are real, like, he knows it's not even a question. Like, he knows they're real. And they have, like, rules. And there's, like, Catholic stuff. Like, Catholicism is real in this world. And he decides to become an atheist and, like, become a vampire because reasons?
I mean,
what the fuck? It just seems like, I don't know. Like, he's obviously going to be the bad guy. It just seemed like the way they went about it was so... Oh, I'm getting old, I'm afraid of dying, and there's probably no God, so I guess I'll, like, hook up with these vampires.
Make a deal with the devil.
Okay.
So to speak.
So, I mean, we touched on something.
What is a reverse exorcism? How do you fuck that up?
Oh, my God.
How close is that to a regular exorcism that something goes wrong and you make a vampire?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That was
I
insane.
Also curious what
Inverse
The
exorcism.
records are unclear, but something went wrong.
Where they take the
inverse exorcism.
The body away from the devil's spirit.
No, it's the body dies and the soul remains.
Right.
So he's a vampire. And then they talk about finishing it, and it's like, well, you got to have a crusader, you got to kill him, drain his blood, you got to do this at sunrise, you got to burn him on a crucifix. It's like, were you guys doing all that back in 1311?
There's so many fucking questions in this movie, and like they were only questions for the sake of being asked. They never intended to answer a single fucking thing.
It ain't even that, man. Like, think about James Woods, raised in the church to be a vampire slayer as an orphan, killed his own father as a vampire, and he doesn't know that the first vampire is this valid guy from 1311? Like, what the fuck? What is that?
He obviously he doesn't give a fuck. He's like a badass.
He's a badass. He smokes.
He's just like dumb.
He smokes backwoods cigars and he makes gay jokes to priests. Beats them up.
Wears leather and fucking
little tiny John Lennon glasses.
Why don't you let me down and prove that you can kick my ass?
Rule number 7.
God. So basically, these two chuckle nuts fucking travel all over fucking southwestern America trying to fucking kill Valak, right? Mm-hmm. And seek vengeance on the Grand Vampire.
Catholic Church's dime.
Yeah, because they are like mechanically employed by the Catholic Church. Like they are like the Catholic Church like vampire SWAT team. They're here to like SEAL Team 6.
They sell meth on the side. They're like dirty bike people.
I love it. Honestly, I do love that. Like the church is completely funding it.
It's like he literally's like, I've been buying out hookers and liquor stores for 3 weeks. Like what?
I was honestly hoping that when the whole ensemble got slaughtered, that it was gonna be someone else was gonna be left to be like his kick rather
Oh,
than the
yeah.
fucking Baldwin. Like I wanted it to be
New guy,
Mark
like
Boone, whatever.
oh yeah,
Mark Boone Jr.?
Yeah.
or like someone
But
from the
then he
hotel.
died first, so just like someone else.
Okay, so does everyone die? Does Valak kill everybody in the hotel?
Everybody except for Jack and Tony, and then the hooker gets
Tony.
bit, and they commandeer. They take the hooker with them, Katrina.
Yeah, they steal the man's car.
Because they want her to fucking be the
Right.
telepathic link.
Because-
But all the party previous to that
Oh, I mean,
was
like,
killed.
every-
Like everybody was killed.
He
Because
goes
remember,
back and cuts their
That's
heads
what-
off.
yeah,
and he
no, no,
burns
I-
it down. Dude, that
I
shit
get
was
that.
actually sick though, right?
That was crazy.
Oh, yeah,
He
and
cuts off all their heads and like
extended.
And they did the cool man walking away from an explosion shot.
But
Yes, like the fucking Lonely Island explosion
Yeah.
shot.
which okay, so many things. Number one, when he was walking away, all I could think of is how old he looks.
He did not look cool
He
at
did not
any
look
point in
cool.
this movie, right?
Number two,
No.
did Valak kill everyone in the motel? Like not just the party, but like everybody? Because James Woods goes back and like burns it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he killed everybody. Valak
Yeah.
leaves no prisoners.
And that's like the third montage at minute like 22.
We got a lot of montages in this movie.
There are a lot of montages. I did like the first one because it's like they cut out all the sound. You've got like all the creaks. You got like, oh, sorry, boss, and like, fucking be quiet with that fucking door, and like all that shit. And then they finally like find some vampires. They do the
Goons.
whole. They get some goons. They get a fish on the line. They pull him out. He burns up. You
That's
get
hot.
Daniel Baldwin like makes like a head joke with the burnt skull to like, hey, Padre, everyone likes a little head, right, Padre? Like,
He was so gross in this movie.
right? And then it's a montage because it goes all night, right? And then, but then it's midday again, and they've got like 9 skulls lined up, like they're again like Marines
Trophies
or
in the
something.
in like the front of the
trophies.
van.
Yeah, it's
I would
just
buy
wild.
9 skulls if I could.
But yeah, they basically try to get him back, and then they find him in what is it, like San Miguel after a couple of visions from the hooker.
Yeah, because thank God she was like, let me check the vision, and he was like, oh, he's running right past all these street signs.
He's using major
on a highway.
highways.
Stop! Turn right.
Well, because he can fly, but also he takes trains, and like right,
Wears disguises.
he
and
wears
shit.
disguises. The vampire, for being the first vampire and being super powerful and superhuman, he has some weird mannerisms.
He's not sexy enough.
He's not that sexy. He has no hypnotism skills.
I mean, are any vampires
And he's
really
not-
sexy? They
Yes.
all have to live up to sexy,
Sexy,
sexy Chris
Chris Sarandon.
Sarandon.
But he wasn't that good either, like performance-wise. He also seemed kind of just
He wasn't
like,
even
not
really written to
even
have a big
into
part,
it.
really.
Yeah.
he's just a monster.
But it was just
If
bland.
you're 600 years old, you're probably pretty apathetic. Like, it's just a fucking meal to you at this point. It's not murder. It's not
Yeah.
thrilling. It's not euphoric.
He's trying to find that black cross.
But he
Like, I
just
bet if
fucking
you and
murder
I start...
people.
You know how we always talk about, like, what if we started murdering people?
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, if you and... We could probably... What? Baker's dozen before I start to, like, really settle in and, like, not get a rush.
Yeah, like a Butcher Baker's dozen.
Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker's dozen, yeah. I think I could get 13, 14, 27 fucking kills under my belt before I really started getting bored with it.
I hear if you drink enough blood, you become a vampire.
I hear
Not
if you
true.
drink enough
What
cum, you
happens?
become a priest.
I am a priest.
Back to the movie.
Back to the movie. They find the Black Cross at like whatever the Church of Santiago, and find out that he's going to perform a ritual after they captured James Woods in an ill-fated attempt at clearing out the jail, like all the way to sundown. Like, why wouldn't you leave like well before sundown? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
He gets crucified a little bit. He's up on a cross.
They don't put things through his hands though. I was hoping they would put like actual nails into him.
That'd be cool. We do like nail
Right.
play.
Yeah, a little penetration never hurt anybody.
Just more gore.
Yeah, more gore. When Rob's asking for gore, I like that.
Give me the gore.
Season 3, we're going to get messy. We're going to fucking slop it up this season. Isn't that right, Bill? I heard you got a nasty boy lined up for next week. We'll get to that later.
But yeah, Cardinal Sean Connery is wanted to live forever and is served everyone up on a platter.
Who's
and,
your favorite cardinal of all time?
Mark
Mel
McGuire.
Ott? Okay, yeah, good.
What did you say?
Mel Ott. It's a
He's
deep
that.
cut. It's a deep
Yeah,
cut.
you know that's usually a crossword clue.
Yeah, OTT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three-letter
Shout out to
words.
Andrew.
Hey,
Hey, I bet he
back.
was screaming that. He's like, "That's fucking right."
We love you, Andrew.
Dude, I fucking love Andrew so much. I bet Andrew fucking hates John Carpenter's vampires.
I hope he does. I hope that every listen is a hate listen. Sorry, Andrew.
Well, I know he fucking hates you. So, I mean, yeah. We're halfway there.
Good.
Good.
He loves me, though.
They
Hi,
do
Andrew.
shoot
He
a
loves
priest.
me,
That's
too.
like the third or fourth
Yeah, sweet
priest to
Bill.
die.
Dude, how
Yeah,
many
lots
priests
of
die
dead
in this fucking
priests.
movie? That's good.
4.
I think
enough.
you get a star per dead priest in your movie, right?
It's intense. And also, oh, dude, the fucking vampire kills a priest with a shotgun. That's crazy.
That is fucking badass.
Like, I know you're not a gun violence guy, but that's
Oh,
I've seen a
against
lot of
priests? Yeah,
vampire
that's
kills,
good.
and I've never
sure.
seen someone use a gun like that, a shotgun. That was wild.
I like that image of Padre holding the
head blown
fucking
out?
sawed-off shotgun to his fucking head too. Like that's just like something you
That's a
don't get a
threat.
lot in film. It's fucking sick.
Yeah. But yeah, he kills the cardinal and then threatens to kill himself before the sun rises. Then the sun rises and there's a final battle, and
The ritual,
James
if
Woods
it's completed,
and him
then
fight and
everything's bad. And if James Wood wins, then everything's
live.
good.
But Monterey comes back and fucking rips the
Montoya,
Montoya, what I call him.
Monterey was where they're
Monterey
supposed to go.
Jack comes back.
Monterey Jack and his buddy Colby.
and saves the day, even though he's been bitten.
Yeah, he's like feverish and crazy, and then everything's solved, and he's like gonna go away with the girl, even though they're both gonna become vampires.
They're in love. He found out he loved her.
Oh
through
yeah, they like
just
kiss, which is
beating
not
her
sexy.
for like an hour.
And tying her up, and she's a vampire, and
Please
everything just-
let me tie you
Oh my
up
God.
and beat you up and
And
find out
he's-
that you're not a vampire. Fuck.
And
I
he's
might be a
like,
vampire.
That's only one way to find out.
He's like, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna kill her, but you get a 2-day head start because you served me for 2 days after getting bit. And then they like kiss and hug, and he leaves.
Instead of him being killed by his buddy 2 days ago,
Yeah, and then
give him 2 more days.
so he lets him leave, and then he's like, "Hey, Padre, did you get a boner from that?" And over.
Give you a little mahogany, a little ebony, a little tweak,
roll
little oak,
credits.
a little cherry. Wow.
I did
fucking
not like
wild.
the ending.
Bow, bow, now.
Wow, wow.
I thought at least either James Woods was gonna catch on fire or the
Dude.
priest was gonna blast his head off.
I was
I wasn't expecting both, but I thought it was a possibility, and then I got neither.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of a disappointment.
I think canonically holy water doesn't do anything to them, but I do love that.
Mechanically and realistically.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, in the movie, there's vampires, and the Catholic Church is like, well, I guess they're still evil.
No.
There's vampires in the Catholic Church. Have you ever seen that Benedict motherfucker?
Oh my God! There's no
Rat
way he's
singer.
not drinking blood.
Yeah,
I think he's drinking worms.
I think he's dead.
The
What?
worms are their money.
But
So
overall,
are the
you know, I
bones.
think we kind of know where Michael and I stand, at least non-numerically.
Well,
any last thoughts?
you know, I've watched a lot of John Carpenter movies in the last year, and Halloween is a fucking better movie. Halloween is not like near masterpiece. The Thing is in my like top 4 favorite horror movies. Like that shit is so fucking good. It blew me away when I saw that the first time. But this one, man, I was getting kind of burnt out on a lot of JC's shit because a lot of it's not great. I mean, he's got highs and he's got lows. And this one, it's one of those things where it's weighted against your expectations. And I really expected this to be horrible. And like halfway through, I was like, fuck, I'm having fun here. And then like 3/4 of the way through, I'm like, this is a riot. And I'm laughing at it. I'm laughing with it. I'm getting gore. Like, this is silly as fuck. I really think that this is a good time. And then I was just committed to having a good time. And so by the end of it, yeah, big thumbs up. Like it.
This was a medium for me for John Carpenter. You get like Halloween and The Thing at the top, and then at the bottom, The Fog and like everything else. And this was better than The Fog, but It wasn't great.
God, you gotta watch Ghosts
It
of Mars.
did.
It'll make you fucking realize how much better this is than what he's capable of.
Yeah, is that bottom with the fog?
It's so bad. It's like not, it's supposed to be fun, and it has Ice Cube in it, and it's just like not
I like that.
good. It's not even like funny bad. It's just boring.
But I mean, this was fun. It was funny. There was solid gore. It was longer than it needed to be. I'd probably give it like a 65. I mean, I didn't like fucking
That's
hate.
not bad.
No, like I didn't fucking hate it. Like I just don't see myself watching it again. And I feel like it could have been a lot better with different casting.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like a few just different casting
Like
changes.
not James Woods.
Yeah, like Bruce Willis instead.
Yeah.
No, someone
but
just young
someone
and like hot
cute.
or something.
Yeah.
And then give you like Bruce Campbell as like the older
Paul
stage
Walker.
guy.
Chris Paul?
Chris Paul. Yeah. I don't know. What is it? 95. This one came out.
98.
98.
98. Who would have been like a good fucking dude right around that time?
Bruce Willis, Dolph Lundgren.
Those is too old. These guys like 88.
When did Die Hard come out? In late
Like-
80s? He
like
was not
86,
that old.
80.
We were
He
talking
was
about
already
how
like
old
a
James Woods
fucking
looks
man.
fucking 50 in this.
And Bruce Willis is like 50 in like 1998.
Exactly.
Maybe
He
not that
probably
old.
looks
He's not that
younger. He probably looked younger than James Woods in this year. Or Bruce Campbell would have been good as the lead, not even as fucking Monterey.
I don't know.
Montoya
Give me like
Monterey.
fucking. Give me like Ed Norton.
I mean, that would be awesome, as long as it's not
That
Daniel
would've been
Baldwin.
Isn't he in a
Weird.
movie? Vampire
in a
movie called
movie?
94 Hours. Is it a vampire movie?
What?
I can't remember. Anyway, Rob,
sounds
what do you
made
give
up.
this movie?
Oh, I like this movie. I like this movie actually quite a bit, but I do think it's maybe 10 minutes too long than it should be, and if it was just a little bit tighter, it'd be even better. And yeah, of course, like the bad acting, that's part of the charm. Friday Night is still king, I think. This is pretty good though. This
Do
is
you like it more than Blade? They're very different.
They're very different. I think
I
they're
think
on
this
a
is better than
similar-
Blade.
I think it's on similar footing, but it's different because it's like Blade is like action.
Yeah.
This checks all my boxes. It's got weird lore. It's got like hunters with all their gear. There's like Catholic
Slayers.
Church. There's conspiracy. There's a relic. Like for all of its faults, like it's mostly what I want out of a vampire movie. So this is like probably like a mid 70s, 76.
Damn.
Yeah. But again, like if this was like 98 minutes or 110 minutes, like I feel like that would be, what is it? Actually,
110 minutes. If it
minutes.
was 3 minutes
It's 3
shorter.
minutes shorter. If it was, like 98 minutes, that would be good. About you?
Well, yeah. I am not a vampire fanboy. I certainly don't hate them. But when I'm checking boxes, this movie fills up the stat sheet with what I want. Like you said, like you got relics, you got like the ancient bloodlines, you got cool like weapons, like specific like canonical slayer lore and like all that type of shit. Like I love that, you know. It was fun, and the bad parts about it were also fun. I love how cheesy and silly the soundtrack was at times. I loved how bad the acting was at times. Like, never were the low lights a distraction from my enjoyment. I was never like throwing my hands up in frustration. I was always like, oh, this is fucking cool. Like, cut his head off. And then I went straight into like chuckling at, he's unstoppable unless we stop him. Like, fuck, man. That's so good. I pretty much agreed with you. The number that I had written down ended up being the highest just by a slight margin. I had 77 for this. I really liked it.
God.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's a good movie.
This was actually like, it surprised me too, man. Like, you know what I mean? I expected something and got something different, and I really enjoyed it.
Fair enough.
Well, thanks, guys. Yay, we're back. And we got another movie next week. And I think it's Mr. Bill's pick.
We do. We're watching another movie next week. We're gonna do it again
Are we?
What are we gonna do,
are we
man?
on location next week?
in the studio.
No, I thought we were gonna be at,
location filming.
no,
Lago
we're-
Bagnata.
Boca Bagnata.
Yeah, we're flying to Italy to go to our restaurant. It is in the southern part.
Sicily, right?
No.
Naples.
Nope.
Turkey.
Yes.
In Istanbul.
Next week we are watching 1988, Night of the Demons.
Ooh.
We were just talking about this. I actually started it, made it like 3 minutes in, and
Realized
asked
it
you
was
guys
pop.
about it, and I think it's gonna be fucking hot.
Is it sexy?
It's gonna be sexy. I mean, it's got the Scream Queen in it.
Barbs?
Quigley
Linnea,
is in
yeah.
it. But yeah, it's supposed to be a fun cult horror movie. I mean, it's classic 80s cult shit, horny teenagers accidentally summoning evil
Demons.
and getting fucked up.
I
Supposed
can
to be good.
almost guarantee you Linnea Quigley is going to be
Fully
all sorts of
nude.
naked in the movie. So, like, that's never
yeah.
a fucking that's never a strike against. You know what I mean?
It could be excessive, but yeah.
It can, but, like, Linnea is so fun, and, like,
It
her
was, like-
personality is just, like, she cracks me up. I love her. So, anytime she's in any movie, I fucking, like, big thumbs up for me.
I thought it's gonna be as excessive as Return of the Living Dead, but we'll see.
Return of the
That was
Living Dead was
wild.
insane, but like
I
she's
had
also
no
like
idea.
super naked in Sorority
else.
Babes,
Sorority Babes,
Yeah.
and
which we have to make Rob
obviously
watch.
like Hollywood chainsaw hookers.
Yeah.
Like she's a chainsaw hooker, so she gets naked.
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
lot.
she's gonna be naked.
This is directed by Levin Tenney, and I only really mention that because he only has a few director credits, but one of them is Witchboard, which Rob
I
and
have
I
not seen Witchboard. I
Oh,
wanna
that was
watch
that movie on.
Rob and I
Yeah.
watched it for like 30 minutes randomly last night because it was
Last
streaming
night?
on Shudder.
Yeah, it was
Nuh-uh.
just- yes.
Yeah,
It was
just looked
like,
up the
what are we-
director
what
and
is
saw.
this?
We had it on, and all we really saw was a bunch of handsome men hitting stuff with hammers.
I've heard it's actually
And
like
Ouija
pretty
boards.
fun and insane.
Ouija
It
board
seems
insanity.
insane. Ouija boards just flying.
It's like they're playing like fucking air hockey.
But yeah, I thought that was funny because I was like, I wonder if this guy has any other credits, and like the only other one was Witchboard, and I was like, wow, we watched some of that last night.
Boca Bagnata. So yeah, we're gonna be on location next week. We're gonna be doing Night of the Demons.
We're gonna be
and
in Turkey, Italy, at our restaurant.
if you're available to swing by, come on over.
Just
We'll
RSVP so we
Well,
can
we
tell the
spit-
restaurant how many. to
Yeah,
expect.
let us
Spit in the
know.
blenders.
yeah, I'll spit in your blender and maybe I'll buy you a bolognese.
But if it's the beginning of the shift, you're not gonna get any.
Because we're hungry.
We are hungry.
It's all we can eat though.
That's all we can
That's
eat.
all we think you can eat.
That's all we think we can eat.
Alrighty.
It's good to be back. Season 3.
Yep.
Night of
And-
the Demons. It's on Shudder if you want to watch it.
Yep, we're gonna start a new tradition here, season 3. At the end of every episode, we're just gonna say a prayer together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen.
Yeah, pull up with us, watch 2 films. Come on, watch 2 films. If you scared, don't come over here. 13 and M. 13 and M. 13 and M.